Hi, beautiful people. So this is about borders. This is about when they changed and how the game changed with them. It's about Yugoslavia and its football legacy. It's about 6 republics. One team that no longer exists, but whose legacy lives on in 6 different national teams. It's about the breakup of a nation and how that affected a sport, and how a sport can bring a nation together even after it breaks apart. This is a story of pride, pain, passion, and healing. This is when one team represented 6 nations. This is Yugoslavia's football legacy. It's hard to talk about Yugoslavia without thinking about borders because the country was all about them. Yugoslavia is just a term for a group of Slavic people who lived in the area that today consists of 6 different countries: Serbia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Slovenia, Montenegro, and North Macedonia. But for most of history, these people were divided by those borders. That was until 1918 when they all came together for the first time to form Yugoslavia. Here they are in 1954 playing Brazil at the Maracana. The land may have been fractured, but the team was united. They called this team the Brazilians of Europe. Look how they dance around the Europeans here in 1958. They qualified for the World Cup. Every year from 1950 to 1982, their best performance came in 1962, when they made it all the way to the quarterfinals. This team had players like Jajic, who was there, and Stjepan Bobic, a legend whose name is still chanted by fans today. They had Subasic, the creator, the man who would pull strings in midfield and open up defenses with his pinpoint passing. They also had Savicevic, the complete no-10. He could score screamers like this from 30 yards out. But he could also take players on like this. Tito was the president of Yugoslavia from 1953 to 1980. He led the country through some of its best years. He kept the borders intact. He made sure that everyone was included. Under his rule, Yugoslavia became an example of how different ethnicities could live together. But once he stepped down, the country started to fall apart. First, there were protests on the streets. Then came the wars, the breakups, and the sanctions. By 1992, Yugoslavia was gone, and there were 6 republics and 5 national teams. Now, football was suspended before the tournament began. Yugoslavia had qualified for Euro 92, but they were disqualified because of the war. The team was the best of all time, but they never got to play in a major tournament. It was the dawn of a new era. Croatia debuted in 1994. Serbia and Montenegro debuted in 1986. Bosnia debuted in 1996. Slovenia debuted in 2001. The new countries played their first games against each other. First game was between Croatia and the Czech Republic on June 7, 1994. Croatia won 3-1. 2 months later, Serbia played against Bulgaria. Again, Serbia won 2-1. Now, the flags changed. The team colors changed. Some old rivalries were renewed and new ones were created. The national team of Yugoslavia ceased to exist, but their legacy did live on. From one legacy, the team that once was, to 6 flags, the teams that are now. The legacy lives on in their DNA, but they also have their own identity. Croatia made it all the way to the World Cup semifinals in 1998. Davor Suker was their leader. Robert Prosinecki was their creative spark. Igzanimir Boban was their tough tackling defender. In the group stage, they beat Argentina 1-0. Check out Suker celebrating with the now famous Croatian dance. They would go on to lose in extra time to the French in the semifinal. This is Serbia. This is Croatia. This is Bosnia, Slovenia. Those who lived in Yugoslavia remembered the old team fondly. They remember the players and the times when football was just a little bit more fun. But this isn't a sad story. It's a story of 6 nations and how they came together to create something special. It's a story of pride, pain, passion, and above all, football heals, even remembers. This is Serbia celebrating against Portugal. This is Bosnia celebrating against Estonia. This is Croatia celebrating against Wales. These are the modern rivals. These are the modern-day Balkans. They're passionate. They get under each other's skin. Sometimes they go too far, but at the end of the day, they hug each other. They respect each other. They know that, without Yugoslavia, they wouldn't be where they are today. This is Croatia and Serbia in a friendly in 2014. Tensions were high, but in the end, they hugged it out. This is the legacy of Yugoslavia. It may be 6 different teams now, but they're all part of the same family. They all share the same history, they all share the same passion, and they all share the same love for the game. This is a story about borders and how they change, how they shape our world, and how they affect the game we love. But more than anything, this is a story about Yugoslavia, the land, the people, and the team. Thank you very much. Subscribe for more stories where football meets history.